What is up, my brothers from another mother? We need to have a discussion, especially for some of the younger guys out there that make this mistake with MILFs, also known as Cougars. Quite popular often with the younger guys in the nightclubs and bars when it comes to, picking up or hooking up, especially now that things are starting to open up with the economy and social spaces. So the setup to this really is, there was a guy in my men's community that posted. He's a newer member. He's a younger guy. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was somewhere in Europe. And he managed to pull these three Polish birds. I'll translate that into North American. He picked up three Polish women. They were all Cougars slash MILFs is the way that he defined it. If I'm not mistaken, he was quite young. He was like maybe 20 years old or so. But he was proudly boasting about his accomplishment. We use a lot of asks in our community for field reports to get feedback on certain things that went down. So that's part of the use for that. But he was basically showing off what had happened that evening. He seemed to have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the problem with the whole MILF aspect of, when you go out as guys and you're interested in talking to women or to pick up women or to get their numbers or whatever it is you're trying to do if you're trying to hook up, the MILFs are usually the low-hanging fruit. And there's no other way to say it. They're just easier. They're easier for a reason, because the value that they bring to the table. You guys, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you've probably heard me talk about single moms a number of times. And if you haven't, you should start watching some of those videos. I'll put up one on the top right here. That's an important one to check out that I did recently in the last month, about 5 reasons why smart guys do not get involved with single moms or marry them. Now, I know that this is a hookup slash MILF slash Cougar scenario. They've gone out, these women have gotten into their cheetah, leopard print, whatever print it is that they're trying to get your attention. But it's a very, very interesting dynamic. I can easily sum it up for you this way. And I'm going to tell you a story about a couple of guys that I knew growing up that got entangled, we use Jada Pinkett's wording, entangled with these MILFs on a basis that did not work out. But on YouTube right now, especially in the car genre, which is one that I still watch quite a bit of, some of my favorite channels are still car reviews or builds and stuff like that. And YouTube will often recommend these videos to me, which are more or less clickbaity. They're low-hanging fruit. And the title and the image is something like, I bought the cheapest McLaren 675 LT, and there's a picture of this like smashed up, 300,000 mile, or it's been in an accident and it needs like every body panel replaced. This is a $400,000 car, brand new, roughly, depending on how you equip it. But they're like, I bought the cheapest McLaren on the Auto Trader for $100,000 and I'm going to see what I can do with it. What is this dude doing? So this is basically what the MILF genre is. It's just low-hanging fruit. It's easy to get to. It doesn't require a lot of effort. It doesn't require a lot of game. You don't have to be a particularly high-value man. All you have to be is a man with working Johnson. That's it. That's really all that these MILFs are typically looking for in a nightclub. They look for different things on dating apps when you get out there. That's when they're starting to give you the lyrics about no hookups, or I'm only here for something serious, blah, blah, blah. But then, they'll say that out of one corner of their mouth, and in the other corner of their mouth, they get their girlfriends together, and you know what goes down if you've been out and you've seen them out in their leopard print, showcasing what it is they got going on, shaking their moneymaker. So a couple of guys that I knew growing up, I met these two guys in my mid to late 20s when I was still frequenting a lot of the nightclubs or going down to Vegas on a regular basis. And these two guys, one guy in particular, was always wrapped up with MILFs slash Cougars. And I'm not talking about like 5-10 years older. He was probably about 30, 35 at the time. He was going out with like 45, 50, like 45 would have been young for him. Mostly in the 50s, sometimes even in their 60s. And it didn't matter where we go, he'd always embarrass us and bring back the Cougars and the MILFs to our table or to our group for some unknown reason. And we had to kind of like find a way to squirrel away because, of course, younger high-value guys are, of course, only interested in younger high-value women. Beautiful women, more specifically. There's no high-value women. I should correct myself. So this guy got entangled with all of these MILFs throughout his 30s and even 40s. I don't talk to the guy today. You know, he's gone off. He's basically gone AWOL. But he basically burned through a lot of his time and resources and effort for low-hanging fruit. He went out and picked up the destroyed McLaren 675 LT or the 1995 Ferrari 355 with 150,000 miles on the clock, and it's all rattly and creaky and it makes all kinds of noise and stuff. And that's really what it boils down to, guys. Don't proudly boast about engaging in MILFs or Cougars. It's not a good use of your time. I understand that some guys like to go there from time to time, or maybe it's an ego boost. Okay, fine, I get it, but it's my view that it's a far better ROI in your time, gentlemen, working on yourself, doubling down, figuring out what your purpose, what your dent in the universe looks like, and acting on that, because that way you don't have to resign yourself to going out and, you know, like all your friends have nice exotic cars and you show up with the one with the salvage title with 300,000 miles on the clock and scrapes and dings and clicks and bangs and everything throughout the entire body. It's not the same thing. It's never going to be the same thing. It's just got way too many miles on the clock. So just consider that when you're bragging and boasting about that. Anyway, what has been your experience with the MILF Cougar genre? Leave a comment below. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are, your comments, and your feedback. Also, make sure you check out the pinned top comment. I've got a lot of links there. A lot of you guys often ask me, how do I find the books that you recommend, or how do I get in your community? It's all there in the pinned top comment, so check that out. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.